This is the Game Changers Experience. Deep dive conversations with leading business disruptors, Olympic athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and influencers from around the world. This show will teach you insights about the winning principles in mindset, productivity, marketing, branding, entrepreneurship, business strategy, and more. Hosted by productivity authority, business strategist, former elite athlete, author, and public speaker, Adam Strong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Game Changers Experience Power Up Thursdays episode. First of all, I just want to say, I hope you guys have enjoyed your holidays, but more importantly, Happy New Year, because we are going into the new year with a new perspective. It is a new animal, and it's been a tough time for a lot of people, a really challenging time for a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs from around the world. And from mental health challenges to, a completely new concept of how we're actually doing business around the world. I know that a lot of you are still struggling to adapt to the new, what I call the digital revolution, I think is a really good word to put it. But I admire people that have developed the tenacity to continue to keep going, because that's what you've got to do, guys. You've got to continue to keep going at the end of the day. Never give up. Don't give up, because, for the little people out there, especially for the little people out there, is, it's extremely important to not only get creative, but more importantly, I'm going to give you actually three main points that I really want you to take on board going into sort of 2021. And I really, today's session is actually really very much a hands-on session, like all the sessions, but this one is probably even more important than even maybe some of the other ones. So I want you to get yourself a notebook and pen if you haven't already done so. And if you're listening to this, whether it be in the gym, in the car, whatever it is, please do me a favor, okay? If you hear some golden nuggets, pull over, stop what you're doing, and just make a note in your notebook, or get a pen and a paper handy, because there's some things that I really want you to do right now that's really going to take 2021. Hopefully, if you use these 3 points, by the way, it's going to help you set yourself up for the new year. And, and we all need that, especially in times like this, of leaning in together and collaborating. So there are three main things that I've been talking about. So the first thing that I'd like you to write about is your achievements for this year, okay? Your achievements. What is it that you've achieved this year? And I don't care how big or how small that you may think those achievements are. If they're an achievement, if you feel that you have accomplished something, I would like you to write it down. Why is it important to write your achievements down? Well, being an entrepreneur, I don't know about you, but I'm extremely hard on myself. I've always been particularly hard on myself, even when I was an elite athlete. And if I wasn't accomplishing stuff, if I wasn't achieving things, I would get really hard on myself, right? But I think what's important, especially coming out of a challenging year, is to write down all the achievements that you have achieved, whether it be that you've met a business partner, whether you've connected and increased your LinkedIn following, with the fact that you have grown your business, or whatever it is. I want you to write down all of the achievements that you've actually achieved this year, all of the accomplishments that you've achieved. And I'd really like you to write those things down and start with that, because it's easy to think about all the negativity and all the things that maybe you haven't accomplished, but I want you to really write down, what is it that you have achieved? Because I'm sure that there's a lot of things that you've achieved. And then when you start writing that list down, right, you'll start to think, wow, I've actually achieved quite a lot this year, right? Okay. And then things don't feel so bad. Okay. So that's the first thing. Secondly, and if you haven't already done so, or you haven't started with this already, is I'd like you to write down all of the things that you're grateful for in life. So I'd like you to start writing all of the people that you're grateful for. I'd like you to also write down, what is it that you are most thankful for? Whether it be to be happy and healthy, whether it be to be in a supportive family unit? Will it be to be surrounded with, like-minded, high-level people? I want you to write down all of the things that you're grateful for in life. And it's really important to share gratitude because, there's a lot of people in my life that I am extremely grateful for this year. I've interviewed hundreds of high-level business influencers, disruptors, athletes, sports celebrities, you name it. I pretty much interviewed them. And it's been a whirlwind for me. It's been a right roller coaster for myself. And I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to interview, these people, from the likes of Dr. John D. Martini, as an example, from the likes of Bob Berg, from the likes of some of the amazing athletes that we've had, such as Neil Fashy, for example. And we had Danielle Brown. We've had James Roberts. We've had an abundance of amazing athletes, which give us a different perspective in life, and how you can effectively see how elite sport can help you achieve amazing things in your entrepreneurial journey in your business, which is amazing. So I want you to write down all the things that you're grateful for. I want you to start writing those things down. If you haven't already done so, you can also start up a gratitude journal if you wish. And so each day you'd write down one or two things that you're grateful for. It could be that you're grateful for a sunny day. Okay. It could be that you're grateful that if you've got kids like me, it could be that you're grateful for your children, for example. Okay. So I want you to write down all the things that you're grateful for in 2020. All right. So that's the second thing I'd like you to do. And the third thing I'd like you to do, and this is a really important thing, is I'd like you to write down all of the improvements that you need to make in your business and in your life. And the reason I say improvements is because you may have done something this year, right, that hasn't worked out. You may have done something this year which didn't work out as planned as you'd like it, or it didn't achieve what your expectations set out or accomplished. All right. But I'd like you to write down some of the improvements that you need to make in your life. And it could be anything, right? It could be that the fact that, you need to make improvements to your mental health. So by going to the gym or by doing exercise for 1 hour a day, 3 days a week, though that could be an improvement, right? It could be the fact that you need to be more strategically focused in your business. Therefore, by starting up a productivity planner, for example, to become a little bit more laser focused is going to help improve, it's going to help eliminate procrastination. It's going to help you to accomplish a lot more things. It might be the fact that you need to manage your cash flow better. All right. So looking at your numbers and looking at maybe suppliers if you're a product-based business. I'd like you to think about all of the improvements that you need to make in your life. All right. Whether it be hiring of staff, whether it be to read more, whether it be to watch more, whether it be to listen to more of our podcasts, for example. Okay. So what are the big improvements that you need to make in your life? And, you can also write down how you're going to go about doing it. Okay. Because I'm a big believer, and you know about this. If you listen to the podcast, is for me, I'm not just a talker, I'm an action taker. So when I'm saying that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it relentlessly until I've accomplished it. And if I can't accomplish it for whatever reason, then I'll sit back and I'll think to myself, did I absolutely put all the effort in for it to work? Because I don't believe in failures. I believe learning experiences is a better way. So if you're thinking about all of those learning experiences right now, okay, one of the things that I do in my learning experiences is as I ask the question that, okay, so if something failed, for example, okay, why did it fail? Was it because of the conditions? Was it because of the environment? Is it because I didn't prepare enough? Is it because I wasn't confident enough? Write down those things. But secondly, what's really, really important is I want you to think about asking the question, well, did I actually put as much effort as I could have done? Okay. Did I go all out, as I like to call it? Okay. Because if I went all out and I put all my focus in and I made as much effort and it didn't work out the way it wanted it to be worked out, okay, then guess what? It's actually an achievement, okay, because you've learned something. And in order for us to grow as individuals, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as decision makers, we have to, okay, always, there's going to be downfalls, there's going to be ups and downs in life, okay? And if you are an entrepreneur, you've got to ride those ups and downs. If you are a business owner, if you are a decision maker, I don't care who it is, okay? If you're not willing to ride that roller coaster, okay, you're going to become bitterly disappointed. All right, you're going to become bitterly disappointed. So listen, it was a real short episode today, but for me, it's super important to do these 3 things because it's going to help you really set yourself up for 2021 in moving forwards, more importantly. So that's really, really good. So the other thing I wanted to really kind of make you really well aware is that we're going to be gearing up for the Game Changer Summit coming up in 2021, basically. And you're going to need to make sure that you plug in because honestly, the speakers that we have lined up will blow you absolutely out of the water. It's the summit of all summits, and it's going to be absolutely blow you away. And it's really going to, my goal for 2021 for you guys is to really empower you to make change, but more importantly, for you to achieve results, because we've all got to work together. We've all got to work in collaboration, and we can only do that by learning some new skills, number 1. But number 2, implementation. Ideas are great, but without implementation, they mean nothing. So really wanted to make you well aware of that. If you're listening to this on Apple and you love some of the things that we do on the podcast, by the way, whether it be our Tuesday show or our Thursday show, please do me a favor and write a 5-star or a 1-star review, depending on how you felt the value was presented. Or alternatively, if you're listening to this on Android, okay, then please go onto Podchaser. That's Podchaser. And set up a really basic account and then leave a 1 or a 5-star review on there. I would be extremely grateful. I really, really would be. So listen, have a fantastic, happy new year, and we'll see you in 2021. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, you guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening in to this episode of the Game Changers Experience. I hope that you got some amazing value, some great insights, and golden nuggets that you can implement into your business straight away. I would really, really appreciate it if you could leave a 5-star review on the button below. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.